The next time fear tells you you are not enough, the next time comparison tells you someone else has the advantage, the next time you feel overlooked, remember God's grace. Hi everyone, I am Auntie B and you're welcome to Alive with Auntie B. If you're new here, this is a community where we learn to love the life God has given us and live it fully, especially as believers. We have honest conversations that help us grow in faith, purpose, and everyday living. Ensure to like this video, comment, and share it so it can reach others as well. Today, I want to remind you of something that can completely change the way you see yourself. Grace. Have you ever looked at someone and thought, they are just so lucky? Things always seem to work out for them. Maybe you've even caught yourself saying, if only I knew the right people, if only I had more money, if only I had the opportunities others have. I used to think that way too. I used to think that if I could just meet the right people, get the right opportunities, or have enough qualifications, then life would finally move forward. I thought my next level depended on having the right connections, being in the right rooms, or getting someone's approval. But over time, God taught me something that completely changed the way I see life. The greatest advantage I'll ever have is not who knows me, but who is with me. Now, let me ask you something. Where does your confidence come from? Is it your qualifications, your salary, your business, the people you know, your family, your background? Because here's the thing, every one of those things can change. Money comes and goes, jobs change, people's opinions change, connections can fail. So if your confidence is built on any of those things, your confidence will rise and fall with them. But if your confidence is rooted in God, in His grace, then even when life changes, you remain secure. About grace, I think one of the greatest misunderstandings many believers have is that we know about grace and we don't live with the consciousness of it. We sing about grace, we quote scriptures about grace, we even say it's by the grace of God. But when it's time to apply for that job, attend that interview, start that business, write that exam, or trust God for something impossible, we suddenly begin to behave as though everything depends on us. I'll remind you of something. As a child of God, you already have an advantage. Not because you're the smartest person in the room. It's not because you've done everything perfectly. Not because you have the right connections. Your advantage is the grace of God. Grace is God's unearned favor and His empowering presence at work in your life. You didn't earn it. You don't deserve it. You can't buy it because Jesus has already paid the price, and you don't have to spend your life begging God to qualify you. You're already His child. Think about that for a moment. How differently would you live if you truly believed that God's grace goes before you? Would you still walk into opportunities feeling like you don't belong? Would you still compare yourself with everyone else? Would you still believe that someone else has an advantage over you? I don't think so. You see, when you are conscious of God's grace, something begins to change inside you. You stop striving to prove yourself. You stop chasing people's approval. You stop feeling intimidated by other people's success. Instead, you begin to rest. Not because you're lazy, but because you are confident that God is working with you. Now, don't misunderstand me. Grace is not excuse to be careless. It's not an excuse to be lazy. It does not replace preparation. It does not replace diligence. Grace does not replace excellence. It empowers all of them. Paul said, "By the grace of God, I am what I am." Then he went on to say that he worked harder than the others, yet it wasn't really him, but the grace of God working with him. That's the balance. Grace doesn't make you passive, grace makes you productive. Another thing I've been learning is this: the consciousness of grace produces appreciation, and appreciation produces intentionality. When you are truly aware of God's grace, gratitude becomes your natural response. You stop acting entitled, you stop complaining about what you don't have. You begin to thank God for what He has already given you, what He has already done. And grateful people, they become very intentional people. They don't waste opportunities, they don't bury their gifts, they don't keep postponing obedience. They live every day knowing that God's grace is backing them. So today, I want to encourage you. The next time fear tells you you are not enough, remember God's grace. The next time comparison tells you someone else has the advantage, remember God's grace. The next time you feel overlooked, remember God's grace. Remember that God's grace has positioned you. So walk into that room with humility. Do your work with excellence. Keep learning. Keep growing. But let your confidence rest in this truth: your greatest advantage is not your experience. It is not your network. It is not your achievements. Your greatest advantage is the grace of God. When the one who is with you is the one who rules over everything, you are never truly a disadvantage or at disadvantage. If this conversation encouraged you, I would love to hear from you. So tell me in the comments, what area of your life do you need to become more conscious of God's grace? Or what area of your life have you recognized God's grace? Let's encourage one another. And if you know someone who has been feeling inadequate, overwhelmed, or like they are failing behind,